And that seems a good lead-in to talk about the relationship that the councilors have with one another. What skills do you have that could ease the current strained relations among town councilors? And we'll start with Ann.
First of all, I take issue with
Mike?
I take issue with the usage in the press and some members of the administration and the council and even my opponent at this point to the reference to a gang of six or dysfunctional. I guess the old adage, if you say it enough, people are going to think it's the truth. But it's not true. There hasn't been any backroom dealings. We have had executive sessions, which under law are necessary for personnel. I didn't sign on to a gag order. I have been silenced by an attorney. We tried to get to the problem through an inquiry and an investigation, and we were thwarted by 7 counselors. But having said all that, I don't think it helps the situation. I think it exacerbates it to call each other names. I'm not a member of a gang any more than the 7 members of the other side of the council on this issue are members of a gang. I'm an independent, free-thinking member of a body of 13. I have stood with Councilors Rugo, Chirigotis, and Jochum on a very contentious issue at Centerville DCPC. I stood with Councilor Barry and co-sponsored the Piers and Docks, which was also a very contentious issue. We made it through that vote. It was a close vote. We made it through. We socialized with one another. I recently attended a function Deborah Dagwan sponsored, and Councilors Crocker and Farnham were also there. Anyway, I support my fellow councilors when I believe in their issue. It's not a personal thing. It's never been a personal thing. I am a person who decides on issues. I've always treated my counselors, fellow counselors, and the staff, and the town manager with respect. And I don't think that anyone can refute that. I've tried to conduct myself in a professional manner, even when, frankly, it gets a little hot in here, and sometimes people from the public and sometimes people on the dais get a little rough. But I have suggested it to Councilor Chirigotis, and I'll suggest it again. I've suggested a retreat. I've suggested a public airing. I've suggested a private airing behind closed doors, an executive session. Anything that will help us move forward. So far, I haven't been taken up on that, but I'll suggest it again. But it's a two-way street, so everyone has to agree that we need to move forward. It can be a very exciting time ahead, and we need to make that commitment to one another.
And we're going to move forward to your opponent's answer now. What skills do you bring that could ease the current strain on the town council?
As a practicing lawyer in the town of Barnstable, I happen to have a fairly good relationship with several members of the town council already. And I've had no difficulty ever building bridges. I think it's important that that's what we try to do. A town council's job is building coalitions to get programs developed and completed. It starts with an idea, but it needs to get a majority of councilors and also the town manager on board to take that idea, foster it, and then put it into implementation. And that's one of my skills that I bring every day in my practice of law. Thank you.
Thank you.